Everybody now, we're getting message after message here and call after call from people who are incredibly annoyed and incredibly put out that this man, Keir Starmer, and his administration seem to think that they can do whatever the hell they like.
What Starmer is doing is really shocking to everyone, and I hope it may not be long before he retires. His post as Prime Minister is becoming increasingly stressful as he continues to make the country and our lives worse.
Where Prime Minister Keir Starmer's ratings have dropped to their lowest level yet. According to a YouGov poll, only a third of people in the UK have a favourable view of him.
In fact, I think everyone understands why he is one of the most hated Prime Ministers. His poor work and the ignorance of the public really affect people's attitude towards him.
Roger, what's he doing wrong?
Just about everything. Only 20% of people actually voted for him, and his rating has really dropped. He has the opportunity, after 14 years of really messed up, incompetent, unlistening Tory Conservative rule, Keir Starmer and Labour have the opportunity to be real heroes. They could fix all of the many things that are wrong with this.
Starmer is trying to gain the public's trust after so many years. He practically got it, having won a convincing victory over the Conservatives and enlisting the support of the public. He gave people hope who were tired and disappointed in the Conservatives, and some of them saw a glimmer of hope in the vows of the Labour Party. But he has ensured that even the most loyal Labour supporters are completely disillusioned with Starmer and feel betrayed.
Very quickly, some of them in an afternoon, and yet they are proceeding in totally the opposite direction and alienating huge swathes of the British.
Starmer has completely broken all his and his colleagues' records for making stupid decisions since he started commanding. Starting with the reduction of vital funds for those who need them most, and ending with a complete mess in public finances. Wherever Keir Starmer is, there is disorder and chaos.
Can you go into a bit more detail? How do you see this playing out for Keir Starmer?
Well, I think that starting out where it hurts the most, pocketbooks, he made a big thing of not raising taxes. And he did mention several particular taxes that he won't raise.
Now, because of the catastrophically high taxes, people are wondering if choosing Labour was even a good idea. He ruined our lives by forcing the rich to become impoverished and poor people to make ends meet and choose between food and heating.
He and Rachel Reeves, his money person, his Chancellor of the Exchequer, the first ever woman Chancellor, do seem intent on raising taxes in areas that they didn't mention. So they will increase inheritance tax, they will increase capital gains tax and hit entrepreneurs. They will, there's some word being mooted, charge so many pence per mile to drive your car in Britain now, which is really going to be incredibly unpopular.
Our country has turned into a horror. We suffer from taxes and, worst of all, the government does not return anything to people and does not want to work for the benefit of people. Starmer even reduced the modest funds that used to help pensioners stay afloat in modern times, which was just cruel. He is a heartless and inhuman man who has no honor and dignity.
So I think the tax and the money aspect is the first area where he's lost a lot of credibility. The other is freedom of speech. I mean, he's actually emptying prisons of thousands and thousands of pretty serious criminals and filling up their cells with hundreds of people who have posted critical comments on social media. Now, most of them do seem to be very inappropriate things that incited riots and were, hate crimes in themselves. But he does seem to be, many say, clamping down on freedom of speech. And a lot of people are saying it's 1984 here.
It turns out that Starmer is trying to shut the mouths of absolutely adequate people in society by putting them in jail. However, catching dangerous criminals seems like a good idea for him. If one of these criminals runs out of money, he can commit a crime and then go to jail for free. There wasn't a day when Starmer cared about people.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yesterday we witnessed some extraordinary celebratory scenes outside Britain's prisons, where in some cases serious career criminals were
Their only excuse for releasing dangerous criminals from prison is that the prisons are overcrowded. Following this logic, maybe we should liberate Downing Street as well. There are too many idiots out there who don't care about the country they're supposed to run. They make crazy decisions.
And this to make way for, yes, rioters, but equally those who've said unpleasant things on Facebook and elsewhere on social media. Does the Prime Minister understand? There is a growing feeling of anger in this country that we are living through two-tier policing and a two-tier justice system.
Starmer released about 1,700 convicted murderers and felons just because there was no free space in the prison cells. How much of a complete jerk does he need to be? However, he really enjoys arresting people for their opinions. Unsurprisingly, Starmer's popularity plummeted, making him the worst Prime Minister in history. He preys on people who have a different worldview than his.
Then, what's this for? They said, and then you can hear me say, oh my God, are you joking? You're going to put me in the back of this wagon. They put me in, and I assumed or thought what they'll do is, because they know they'll take me around the block maybe and get me out and go on, you can go home now. Thought that's what will happen. He didn't tell me where we were going. No, nothing at all. 1 minute I was told I was being arrested for some sort of racial hatred. Also, I've been told that I'm being arrested for my own safety. So which one is it? I'm still not too sure which one it is. He stopped the police wagon and he opened the back and he said, we need to have a chat. And I said, you take these cuffs off me and speak to me like a human being rather than a common criminal, then we can have a chat, because I'm not a threat to you as I'm sitting here like this.
He arrests hundreds of people. Several people were stabbed during the riots, and yet he remains focused on exactly what people said at those riots. I am completely disappointed in this man. I am not the only one who thinks so. In the ratings of leaders in all national polls, he has fallen by about 30 points since coming to power. Compared to when Labour won the election in early July, Keir Starmer's rating has dropped by 36 points. He's minus 13 now, and I think if you don't know what that means, he's not that far from Prince Harry. Starmer exposes us to a gigantic threat, which he exacerbates by releasing prisoners who would gladly commit their crimes again. He has 4 long years to run this circus before appearing before the voters again, but if he does not start listening to the demands of the public, his own party may simply remove him from power long before that. What do you think about this video? Write your opinion in the comments. I'm interested to know it. See you next video.